Hello, this is Jason Lee from nextlevelguitar.com, and today I wanted to discuss with you about my Fulltone tube tape echo. So this is actually a physical tape echo unit. This has a tape cartridge that's inside the tray that actually spins while I'm playing. So without this unit, I would pretty much have a direct sound right through my 62 Fender Bassman amp. So if you can kind of hear that little slapback delay, that's actually the tone. It's actually recording me the first time and repeating it how I designate it to. So this is actually a reproduction that is hand-built in California by Fulltone. This is a reproduction of pretty much an original echoplex unit that was made popular by a lot of the original recordings of Sun Records, a lot of the rockabilly recordings, and even all the way through the 70s. Led Zeppelin using it on their vocals, Robert Plant doing the weird kind of repeats. Pretty much the basis of the unit is that you can actually take this bar right here and stretch the tape that's inside of it, and that's what actually changes your timing. So we'll try it really quick and you can hear the difference. We'll do a little pluck here. But as I actually open it up a little bit, we're stretching the tape and actually increasing the time. But it's just as easy to slide it back and we'll pretty much have that same tone we had before. A little bit faster than before, but that'll work. So yeah, it's an amazing unit. It's pretty much, for the tone that I've been using today, this is pretty much the unit I've been using. My 62 Bassman is just a nice direct sound and complements the echo really well. This is pretty much the setup that Brian Setzer would use too. A few other things to note on the unit itself. This is actually a tube tape echo too, so a nice feature about this, it actually has a preamp tube in the unit. What that does is also helps me push this amp a little bit more, as opposed to just having a solid state unit that has a very, I would say, clean and brittle sound. This actually has a little bit more warmth to it, and it can actually distort a little bit easier if you want. So you can actually, anything probably about past 5 is going to give you a little bit more volume than you would if you're running direct into the unit. So I run it about 6 to 7, and it pushes this amp a little bit more. One other feature that this unit has that I like more than any other unit, it actually has titanium heads. So heads inside of a tape unit are what recording you and playing through the unit. So previous heads before wear out over time. The titanium heads just pretty much going to last that much longer. It's a really nice feature to have to get the old sound but with the modern day technology. Alright, now we have a tight-in shot of the tube tape echo itself from a top view, and I just want to go over the controls really quick. So here is your actual guitar volume knob, your echo volume. This is how much you're actually blending after the guitar comes in, and then your echo repeats. We showed this earlier. This shows how long you can make it go for and come back. A few other features with this. This has a direct bypass mode right here that you can click. Another really neat feature, this actually can run in stereo. So here's our stereo outputs right here, and this switch itself actually puts that in that mode. So stereo mode 1 is going to run its stereo out, meaning that it's pretty much just doubling up the sound that's coming through. Stereo 2 can actually hit repeats 1 and 2 to the first amp and 2 and 4 to the second amp, or you can pretty much set it up how you want to by turning your echo repeats a certain amount. One of the neat features that this has is actually stereo mode 3 lets it ping pong. Ping pong is when, let's say you hit one chord once, it'll bounce from one amp to the other. So it's really neat. Some other quick features on this is actually playback and echo off. So this is kind of a neat feature if you're doing any recording and you want to have it play back once and then just shut off. And then this is actually your separate output too. This is your actual slider that you pretty much use all the time. Like here it says delay time. So what you're doing is you're actually bending the tape when you're moving this. So the further you go out, the longer the time is. Right here. One other feature with this, if you don't want to be moving this all the time and you do find a happy medium of what you actually are using live, you actually have a high speed and a low speed. So this actually, just by decreasing the speed, actually slows down your repeat. So it's a really neat feature. Alright, now we've actually done something pretty cool. We've actually taken the protective cover off of the unit, which is totally fine to do. And this is actually this is the replacement cartridge that you can order. It pretty much just runs around through here. This is a rubber wheel that keeps it as a guide. And this is head 1, This is head 2. So what's going is when you actually record it and you're playing, it's going to record it to here, which is this output, or here, which is this output. Right here, this is just a cleaner, or like a buffer if you call it. If you do order a new tape, you get a new one of these, because these do wear out with time, like the cartridges do. One neat feature that I do want to mention is it won't start running the tape itself until you actually put in your main output. You always have to have the main output going. So even if you want to run Echo 2, just put a dummy jack in there and actually operate it. So you can watch right here as I'm going to open this up to put the jack in. It's going to actually put and engage that wheel onto it, which actually starts running the tape throughout the whole unit. So as you're actually recording all the time, this tape is just feeding through it, waiting for you to play something, and it plays it back. And that's it. The way that the original tape echo does work is that as the tape keeps spinning across the heads, you're pretty much recording in real time at all times. The tape isn't long enough to where it's going to have 15 minutes of recording, and if you're playing a live show and you play it and 15 minutes later it's going to come back through. It actually pretty much just runs in real time. As it comes right around the heads again with the same recording, it's just going to delete itself the whole way through. So that's why you pretty much have the same, playability as a digital delay, but with the original tone. For this module itself, I'm using a 2007 Gretsch 6120 RRH. Stands for Reverend Horton Heat model. A really cool feature that made the tape echoes actually popular, I'm going to show you right now, is actually on the unit right here. This is my feedback knob. So as opposed to just keeping a straight tone all the time with the repeats like this, we can actually increase that while we're playing in real time. So we'll try that same little hit, but let's try with the feedback moving it in real time. So what I'm actually doing is telling the tape to actually repeat that much longer, and as I'm moving it in real time, it's actually stretching and compressing the time. So it's a really neat feature that a lot of people love about the tape echoes that you cannot do in purity with a digital delay pedal. Another setting that I've actually done with the tube tape echo that I think is one of my favorites of it is actually turning my my actual input volume up a little bit, but really cranking to about 7 or 8 on the actual echo itself, so it's louder than the sound going in. If you think about it, I have 65% of guitar coming in, I've got 85% echo coming out. So this is the effect that you get from it. So that's definitely a feature that I like a lot with this unit that you can't do, I definitely say you can't do with a digital delay pedal. One more setting I actually want to show you on the unit itself is really just backing your tape with the cursor pretty far back, so you can actually do some quick kind of jumpy moves as well. The tape echo unit isn't just a unit to actually have repeats, it actually gives you a real echo effect. So that way, kind of like in a closed hall. So we'll try some right now with that. So definitely an effect that I actually use quite a bit for the original rockabilly tone. One thing I want to mention is the market of the tube tape echo from Fulltone. You can on average find it around $1,200 on the market. One thing to consider is that the tapes do wear down over time. My average use is about a year, but I definitely say if you want to keep the quality of the tape up, because it does degrade over time, probably about every 6 months if you want to. You can order them from Fulltone when you do own the unit itself. So I believe you get on their, it's either their mailing list or in their computer, but when I order them, they know I own one under my serial number. So if you order them, they can send them to you pretty quickly. They're in California. They're around $40 a cartridge, $30 to $40, but it's definitely worth it if you want the real tone. Well, I'd like to say thank you again. This is Jason Lee at nextlevelguitar.com, and I hope this little training module on the tape echo open your minds to what could be a really cool tone. Definitely if you're ever in a store and they have one, ask them to maybe pull it out. Trying one really kind of opens your eyes to trying out other pedals too, so in case you need to get something a little bit less expensive too, this actually kind of puts you in the mindset of what everyone's pretty much trying to go after. So I want to thank you again, and stick around for more lessons from nextlevelguitar.com.